Morning, everybody. As they said, I'm from Chicago, and I haven't been awake as long as many of you, but I came because I feel 9/11 truth is really important. I'm not here to talk about Building 7 or the towers or all that stuff. Actually, the main reason I'm here is because I'm kind of hopeful that Richard Gage is getting tired, and he's ready to retire. And I'm going to take his place.
Can I see some hands? Who is that 9/11 experience?
Ow. No, I kid, of course. Richard is my hero, as is many of you people are my heroes, because it's, like I said, it's an important thing that we're all doing, and I think we all know that. Even though architects and engineers did not pioneer the 9/11 truth movement, I think we can all agree that they are the foundation of the movement right now. They have that mission that they stick to, they believe in it, it's irrefutable for the most part, and it's standing the test of time. It is the center of this movement. We're here for TAP, which is the Truth Action Project. What is AE 9/11 Truth? It's this organization, it's Richard, it's the board of directors, and they have all this cool information and stuff, but the real lifeblood of 9/11 Truth movement is going to be the Truth Action Project, because it's made up of everyone here and all the people that we don't know yet, the people that we haven't recruited yet, the people on our list that we haven't reached out to yet, which is thousands and thousands and thousands. And this is the lifeblood. This is what's going to make the investigation, I think, actually happen. Architects and engineers have the goods. It's up to us, the activists, the people, to get that message out there. And in order to do that, we have to understand what's the problem. Einstein said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions. I decided to use that as my platform today. 9/11 Truth is the ultimate catch-22. This is kind of the urban version dictionary of a catch-22, but it's a situation in which a desired outcome or solution is impossible to attain because of the set of inherently illogical rules or conditions, or it's a requirement that cannot be met until prerequisite requirements are met, yet the prerequisites cannot be obtained until the original requirement is met. And that's kind of true in a way. It's like you can't get a job without experience, you can't get experience without a job. We need the masses in order to get our mission accomplished. We can't get the masses until we have the masses. The good news is if it were really true, that no one would have a job, right? So, engineers wouldn't be engineers because they didn't have experience to be an engineer, but they eventually became an engineer. So how did they get there? Well, we got to figure that out. What are the supporters saying? I've been reaching out quite a bit in my area, and this is just a few things. For the most part, it's really almost always the same. First, they say, "Oh my God, thank you for calling me." It's like, where have you been? Some of these people have been on the list for years, whether it's in organization or it's too much on their plate. AE is bogged down in the minutia of whatever they're trying to decide to do next, and sometimes the important things get kind of pushed off to the side, and we end up not contacting supporters that signed a petition 3 or 4 years ago. And by the time I get that name, they might not even have the same phone number. They might not even have the same email. They might not even live in the same place. That's happened to me. I've called people, "Hey, love to get you to join our local group." I thought they were from Libertyville, town right next to me. She's like, "Oh, we live in Iowa," or whatever. So I think striking while the iron is hot is very, very important. When someone signs that petition, you say immediately, are you willing to take action? Are you willing to join a local group? Are you willing to spend whatever time you have extra in your day towards this amazingly important cause? And you get them invited, you get them involved, and once you get involved, I think most of you would agree, you kind of get excited about it. You start meeting people, you start doing stuff, you start seeing small results, you start doing what we do. And this is, I think, incredibly important. So what are some of the other things to say? Well, I lost my girlfriend. I lost my boyfriend when I came awake to 9/11 Truth. My friends and family are worried about me. I feel isolated. That actually backs up my first point. They feel isolated. As soon as they hear from us, this is a beautiful group of people. Amazing, smart, intelligent, awesome people with big hearts and a mission in life to make the world a better place. When other people are sitting at home in front of their computers watching YouTube videos, freaking out like the world is so crazy, they get a phone call from one of you guys or me or whoever. They're happy. They're here from us. They want to get involved. They want to have someone that they can talk to. We hear the same stuff over and over. We all recite how we found out about 9/11. We talk about the Pentagon. We talk whatever. It feels good to talk about, doesn't it? I mean, it really does. And it's important. I think the psychologists in the group would say part of healing is talking about it, right? So when you're sitting at home alone, you can't do that. So we got to reach out to these people. We got to recruit them. We got to get them involved. We got to constantly create this family. The world seems so different with the knowledge of 9/11 Truth. You watch the news and everything's upside down and backwards, you know? You watch C-SPAN. You see these pundits on there spouting their rhetoric about keeping the country safe. Who are they keeping us safe from? The real terrorists are them. The most important thing I hear from them is this: I want to do something, I just don't know what to do. I was in that same boat. I spent 2 years on my computer by myself going, oh my God, what can I do, what can I do? And my friends were like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. You're one person. Well, I'm here. I'm doing something. So are all you all. Everyone here is doing something. That's beautiful. Moving on. One of the problems as well is the activist overload. We've got all these things, and this is just scratching the surface. TPP, Citizens United, campaign finance reform, climate change. How many millions of people are marching for climate change? Is it even real? I mean, do we really know for sure if humans have impact on the planet? I don't know. I mean, maybe we do, maybe we don't. But there's millions of people behind it and going, yeah, let's march, let's tax us more so we can stop global warming. It's insane. GMOs, tax reform, Citizens Against Government Waste, geoengineering. This is a huge one, but again, it's more people spending their time looking at this stuff and not looking at 9/11 Truth, which I think 9/11 Truth is kind of the pivotal thing, even though it seems a very small thing in the grand scheme of all the other issues. It's kind of like that domino, you know? You tip over the 9/11 Truth domino, all of these are going to go down with it, I think. It's my opinion. I'm a big fan of Abby Martin. I'm sure some of you have heard of her. She's a great journalist. And heard an interview with her the other day, and she said, 9/11 Truth is like the third rail. And what happens when we go near the third rail? It hurts, especially if you're a journalist. She has completely flipped her story 180 degrees. She had Richard Gage, Kevin Ryan, Bob McIlvaine, William Binney, countless others on her shows talking about 9/11 Truth. All of a sudden, I don't know what happened. She got a phone call, she got whatever, and now she's like, oh no, it wasn't controlled demolition.
She used to volunteer in the AE office. Right. Was that in conjunction with when she left RT? Anything to do?
I think it might have something to do with it. I don't know for sure. I don't know her personally, but yeah. She actually, there was the same interview, she mentioned this quote. She was talking to an AP reporter, and the AP reporter, very respected journalist in the world of journalism, he says, I got to the point where I had to stop talking about 9/11 Truth because I realized I couldn't do my job if I didn't believe what the government was telling us about 9/11. This is an AP reporter. And this is just one. So I put this little graph together, and over on the right, you'll see the global elite, which is, in my opinion, all of the people, that's the 1/10 of 1% that are basically running the world. I know that's a broad stroke, but I think it's true. Then, on this side, I did a little bit of research. I couldn't find much on it. It's really hard to find a number for it. But basically what I gathered was the activists in the world is also 0.1%. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? In the middle, you got everybody else watching the Super Bowl today or doing whatever they're doing. They don't really care about the global elite. They don't really care about 9/11 truth. They're just doing what they do. I don't know what to do with this. It's just what it is. I guess we need to start getting that middle column over to our side. The problem is the global elite, what do they have? They have money. They own the media. They own the governments. They own the militaries. They own supranational conglomerate corporations that run the world.
We have slaves and illusion.
Exactly. But what do we have?
Truth.
Bingo. So who are our enemies? The government, we talked about media cognitive dissonance, apathy, I think is one of the big ones. National exceptionalism, that's a huge thing. My best friends I grew up with have that. They're unwilling to look at 9/11 truth. I think we are at war. I hate to use this analogy, but it's a nonviolent war, hopefully. And I think in order to understand your enemy, you have to think, what are their tactics? Deception is a big one. They take away our will to fight by firing people, or Abby Martin is a good example. You know, she was on the front lines. Now she's in the back. Divide and conquer. That's happening right in the 9/11 truth movement. You know, I know you all know the examples of what I'm talking about, but it's happening in our own movement. We need to use these war tactics like force concentration. You know, get together as one group, unified, and plow right in the middle of them. I'm not talking about violence or killing or any of that. That's the issue. They are willing to kill. They are willing to coerce and steal and, ruin people's lives. We can't stoop to their level in that regard, but we can use war tactics. We have to, because that's how you win the war. You can't, it's like the redcoats wearing red coats marching down the middle of the road. Did they win the war? No. Because the guys that won were hiding behind rocks and shooting and ducking, and they had the will to do it, and they did it. And the Revolutionary War is kind of a good parallel to 9/11 truth. It's fighting against something that is wrong and doing what it takes to win it. I'll throw this up real quick. Visit Star Architects and Engineers at 9/11 Truth, the website. 25.4% of people who visit the website are Google searches. I think that says a lot. I think that somehow they're hearing about AE 9/11 Truth, they're going to Google, searching it, and it's taking them right to the website. I think that says a lot. I don't know how we can use this information exactly, but 10% Facebook. That's another big thing. We need to use Facebook. I think some people might say it's a conspiracy. They're using Facebook against us, but we can use the tools that they're using against them. Turn it around. These are just some ideas. Reddit, another good one, a good source. These were searches. How did they get to AE 9/11 Truth? And the searches it was either just plain and simple architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, or the next four, inside job. Interesting. I don't like that term. 9/11 was an inside job. A lot of people makes their skin crawl. But it's effective, I guess, apparently. The numbers don't lie. Here are the stats. Maybe we need to have more 9/11 inside jobs signs up all over the country. We all are different. We all have completely different ideas of the world, different ideas of life, different ideas of 9/11 truth, different ideas about everything, really. And we also have different ideas how we should present that information. And the people we're presenting it to are all different. You can't, one person you might say, show them a video of Building 7, they'll be like, oh my God. Another person you show Building 7, so? What's that mean? So it's important to remember that, well, two things. One is that everyone is different. It's waking them up to the truth that we've got some serious issues in this country and in the world. And hopefully they will get behind AE 9/11 Truth and the Truth Action Group, or Truth Action Project. If they don't, they don't. Let's not spend a ton of time trying to argue and fight. And the other thing is, you know, you can get angry when someone brings up, you know, Oklahoma City and say, oh, well, you know, it's off topic or whatever. You know, what's getting angry about that going to help? It's not. It's going to divide us. It's going to make our message and our mission less likely to happen. And finally, I'll end it on this. Marty, in one of her points in her opening yesterday, mentioned appreciation. Appreciation for being here is big deal. And appreciating the fact that we have this knowledge and the ability to see the world in front of us, how it really is. Because I think the people who are awake to now and the truth, they really are awake to reality. And yeah, there's other issues and stuff that you can get lost on or whatever, but I think we need to remember that we should appreciate the fact that we have this knowledge, that we're aware and awake, and that we have the ability to, and we have the opportunity. We're living in an amazing time right now. This is an unbelievably cool time to be alive. It's kind of almost like the Revolutionary War, you know, when George Washington and all these guys were fighting the British to create their own country. You know, can you imagine them sitting around drinking a beer at the end of the day going, man, this is awesome, you know, we're fighting for our country. We're going to have our own country. This is really cool. And I think it's the same for us, you know. We should be happy and appreciate and enjoy this time. Don't be angry. Don't be pissed off. Don't be in fear and you know, feeling all those negative emotions are only going to drag you down, divide you with the people that are important, which is us. We're all important in this room. We might not agree on everything, but we're all important to this mission, and we're all important to each other. And we need to remember that before anything else. Forget the things that we disagree on. Let's move forward together with the things that we can agree on. I think that backs up, again, why AE 9/11 Truth is so important, because it sticks to the core things that are irrefutable. In a court of science, you walk in with AE 9/11 Truth information, no one's going to say, that's not working, because it's irrefutable, scientific evidence. So we need to stick to that mission, those things that we know can't be disproven. And if you want to bring in the Pentagon for whatever, because you like that topic, fine. But don't be divided with the rest of us because of it. And don't hate someone because they want to talk about the Pentagon. And just remember, appreciate, love, joy, happiness, moving forward in unity. So thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure for me to be up here. It's been a pleasure. If I haven't met you in person yet, I hope I do before the weekend's over. And thanks for being here.